And we're back. Welcome back to the Veteran and Rookie Podcast, everybody. This is your veteran speaking, and joining me, of course, is our rookie, Jonathan.
Hey, guys. I forgot my hat again. It's over on the bed, and I always forget to put it on. I always come with a hat, and I always have hat hair, and that's why I look stupid and make bad choices.
That's why he wears a hat inside when it's dark outside, and you don't need to wear a hat inside, really. So
Both of those things are true.
that's why he does the thing that he does. You know what else I notice you always do? Is you know how on YouTube you can go over the thumbnail with the mouse and it will preview the video? You know how you can do that?
I do know that, yeah.
Almost all of them have you going like this. You're you reach back with your left arm,
Dude,
and you put it behind your neck.
I'm scratching my neck. Or I'm just
80% of the videos, the preview is you doing that. And now that's what the one on this video is going to be because you're doing it right now.
Oh, I was doing it at first to be like, yeah, this is the thing I do.
And you're like, my neck is itchy.
It's itchy, man.
So yeah, last week we talked about our 2022 predictions that we had going into the year, and we looked back at that, and now we're going to be looking back at our quarterback rankings that we did back in episode 2.
Yeah, I'm not excited. Well, I am excited. It's just that I'm not excited to see how dumb I look.
Yeah, I do want to say though, going back and looking at that video, it's you really were a rookie though. You've improved a lot this season.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. You know who players are, and you don't hate them because they're just another horse team, or they were bad for your fantasy team that one time. For the most part, you still got some room to grow.
Shut the frick.
Yeah, that's the plan for today. So should we just jump on into this?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with your number 33 quarterback, because just like last time, we're going to be ranking the main starter for all 32 teams, and also Jimmy Garappalo, but I guess he was the main starter, so I guess it would be also Brock Purdy.
No, I like the also Jimmy Garappalo.
I like that Jimmy Garoppolo's the afterthought.
Even if he retires or dies on the field or something, we should just always rank him just on his
64-year-old Jimmy Garoppalo.
64-year-old Jimmy
comes
Garoppalo
in as the 34th best quarterback in the league, which is really impressive if you think about it.
I mean, that's incredible.
That's insane.
Bonkers statistics.
And so, yeah, also as we climb up the list, we're also going to be bringing up who we had back in August in those positions.
Yeah. Let's start it, I guess. Who did I have? You have all the
I have all the rankings here. So, number 33 and number 32 for you last year, because you missed a guy. We still don't know who, was Trevor Lawrence.
I was butthurt.
You really were.
I still am, but I realize that he's a better quarterback than 33 now.
Yeah, and people ranking him above Josh Allen now too. So how do you feel about that?
The slander for Josh Allen is not the most succulent.
It's insane how much hate he gets.
I was about to say something like David would, an Eagles fan. I was like, the slander for Josh Allen is bring it on, dude. We don't care. We know he's good like that. But that'd be really terrible to say because everyone would hate me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how Eagles fans sound. So I hate the Eagles.
I post our clips on Instagram sometimes.
Post
on the
that
show
one.
and whatnot. Yeah, I might do that.
Post it.
But I had one that actually went I'm not gonna say viral, but it got a few thousand views on Facebook. And I'm getting close to getting ratioed.
What happened?
I mean, it has 70 likes and 40 comments.
Well, about what?
And it was just talking about the Super Bowl and how the Eagles dominated the first half, but then the Chiefs did their thing. Eagles couldn't adjust, and it's a lot of Chiefs fans going Chiefs are just better, go Chiefs, because it's Facebook, and so everyone's 80 years old, just a bunch of boomers, and then hopefully this goes viral on Facebook too.
I hate,
but yeah.
Wait,
it's just
Joe Biden, Donald Trump,
ooh, boomers.
Nancy Pelosi.
They all watch our show.
No,
only on Facebook.
That's just how Facebook works. Those words.
Oh, those words. I thought you were just naming
Joe
boomers.
Biden.
Now we're definitely gonna go viral. You said all the keywords.
Yeah, we're gonna get everybody mad though. That's how.
Yeah, or people saying like actually the Eagles never dominated. The Chiefs only got the football for 7 minutes in the first half. And I was like, that sounds pretty dominant by the Eagles to me, but okay, buddy, you do your thing. Facebook is the worst social media, and it's not that close, honestly. Anyway, you had Trevor Lawrence at 33. that was a fun rabbit trail. I had Geno Smith at number 33 going into the year. I did not know that he would not be riding back.
3, 4, 5.
What are you counting?
6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm looking at the statistics for 2022 as like quarterbacks. This isn't ranking them as how good of a quarterback they are, but this is just ranking all the quarterbacks, and it won't tell me the number of them. So I'll just tell you when we get closer, I guess. Their 33 is, I think that's Teddy Two Gloves, or maybe.
Wait, what kind of a list is this?
I think this is by yards.
This looks like a list of backup quarterbacks. Why is like Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz and Teddy in there? And, oh, okay. There's multiple pages. I see. I was like, what is going on here?
Yes.
Okay, I see. So who is your number 33 going into or wrapping up the 2022 season?
Wrapping up the 2022 season, I have Zach Wilson.
Same.
Yeah.
Do I need to say more? I believe he was the primary starter. It was a lot between him, Mike White, and Joe Flacco, and then Trevor Siemian, I think, played. No, he played again for the Bears against the Jets, is what that was. Used to play for the Jets like 4 years ago, but it was pretty split up between the two. I think Wilson did get a majority of the games, but none of the Jets quarterbacks were that great. Mike White had his one game, but other than that,
Mike White on this list, if I were to rank him, he'd probably be at like 25 or 23 or something. He's way better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and the offense responds to him a lot better, but I think at the most he can be like a very hot and cold quarterback where one game he's throwing 4 touchdowns, the next he's throwing 4 picks or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little extreme, but
I think also he was a backup quarterback, so he didn't have time to adjust to the offense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you build an offense around him, he'd do better, but I don't know how. I don't think he'd be a franchise quarterback.
No, but he could be a Jimmy Garappalo.
Mm-hmm. Or at least I think he could be a solid backup. If you have to play, him in like 3 games a season.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our number 32. Of course, last year you put Trevor Lawrence also at number 32 because he was so terrible with that coaching staff. I put Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes.
Nice.
And in that episode, I was talking about how I was a Daniel Jones believer, and now I've lost faith. And of course, he has the best year of his career and is asking for $45 million a year in deals and stuff, which he's not that good, but he's better than number 32. That's for sure.
Yeah. This year, I had, wrapping up the year, I had Davis Mills.
I also had Davis Mills. I'm glad the Texans gave him a shot, but
I'm glad the year's over.
Buddy, you're a backup. You've established yourself as a top 64 quarterback in the league, which will get you a backup spot somewhere. Maybe you'll stick around in Houston. That was only his second season.
Yeah. 31.
31 last year. 31. You had Zach Wilson, which I had him a little bit higher. We'll get there eventually, but I guess you were on top of that. Your reasoning in that episode, you said, quote unquote, I don't know. But, it's just like your Broncos prediction. Like, you accidentally just nailed it on the head. Based as frick.
Well, he's basically my second worst quarterback that I had on that list. Mm-hmm. I just had Trevor Lawrence.
So, I mean, you nailed it pretty much.
Literally so good at the game.
So good at the game of looking at football.
Yeah, buddy. So good.
My number 31 was Mitchell Trubisky, who's not going to be ranked on this next list because he's he wasn't the primary starter over Kenny Pickett. But I think number 31 was pretty fair.
Yeah. 31. I had Andy Dalton.
I also had Andy Dalton. Why are you copying me?
Okay. So you sent me your list.
I did, and you just. I nailed my list, is what John's saying.
I kept the bottom, I think, 5 or 6 semi-similar or exactly the same. I think and then once we get into the higher stuff, I moved a lot around. I just thought
he put Josh Allen at 1 and Patrick Mahomes at like 3 or 5 or
Mahomes
10.
is coming up soon. He's like 30.
He's number 29.
Yeah, I just don't really get to see these bad quarterbacks play a lot.
Yeah,
'cause
Andy Dalton was like, he was okay. I guess
I-
he was better than Jameis. So
I don't get to see them play a lot because I don't want to see them play. They play for teams I don't want to
Fair
watch,
enough.
and they play terribly. So I don't.
why
see
would I
them a lot.
waste my time on that?
Exactly. So I trust your opinion on it. You're better at football than me.
I am the veteran,
So
and I am better at you on the field.
I trust that opinion on there, and at least for these bottom guys, because
There we
I've
go.
seen a lot of the better players play, and I think I have somewhat of a based opinion on them. But I don't know. We'll see how we
Yeah,
go a little bit farther.
we
Don't
go
look
up.
at my list. Don't.
I'm
stop,
not.
Stop looking.
Last year at number 30, we both had Marcus Mariota. Again, I think it's fair. He got benched after week 12 or something, and then left the team. He was, again, he's a backup quarterback in the league, and I think he's established himself as a top 64 quarterback in the NFL.
Maybe 63. I mean,
He might. I mean, if he might be right above Davis Mills there in the
Could
top
be.
64 quarterbacks.
could
Who do you
be.
got at 30?
I have Sam Darnold.
I also have Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Just
Again, he's established himself as a backup.
yeah. Not much to say there.
Which is helpful for him because going into the year, it's like I don't even know if he's that, and I think he's shown everybody that he's better than a third string quarterback. He's a second string quarterback.
yeah, buddy.
Boom. 29. You had Davis Mills, and I had Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. That feels low for Justin Fields. I have Justin Fields a bit higher here.
Yeah, well, that was also going
At the
into
end.
the
Of,
year.
yeah,
but-
at the end of the year.
Yeah,
but-
Justin Fields, of course, we'll get to him a little bit later, I guess, but, great mobility. Got to work on that arm a little bit.
Yeah, a lot. But the only thing saving him is his mobility.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he made some incredible plays doing that.
Yeah, really. Everyone used to call. I guess we'll get to it later, but everyone used to call Lamar Jackson a running back who can throw.
They still do.
And I haven't heard that as much this year, but Justin Fields is
Because
just
he hasn't been playing.
Justin Fields is just a running back who can't throw at the quarterback position.
But every now and again, he'll drop a dime 40 yards downfield.
Hey, but so does Odell Beckham. So
That's true. And at 29 this season, I got Matty Ice. Just Matty Ice, actually. Matt Ryan.
I have Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Yeah, it's fair enough. He was not great most of the season that he did play in the 5 games. So I guess if we were going to do primary starter, we would have done Jake Brisket.
Yeah.
But a Brisket he'd be higher for sure. He'd probably be floating around 20, but we didn't rank him.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's more fun to rank because he has a lot of controversy around him, and he's a more recognizable name, and no one cares about the Browns. So
Mm-hmm.
sorry. if you're a
And
Browns
he
fan,
he got better the last 2 weeks. He started to look like a quarterback kind of. So we'll see.
but
We'll see what
he
his
got
future
back
goes.
into the massage parlor.
He did. He was feeling himself again.
Uh-oh. Maybe he wasn't the one, but
Number 28, you had Mitchell Trubisky. I'd say that's fair. I had at 28, I had Zach Wilson, a touch high, but,
close, yeah.
we already hit on both those guys. 28 this year, I got Deshaun Watson, who we just talked about.
I have Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, I do think that, Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson feel like they should pair right next to each other. Very similar, not off the field, but on the field, where, they're these big names, top 10 quarterbacks. They get traded. They get these huge deals, and then they play absolute crap.
Yeah, that's it. There's not much to say about that.
So maybe I gave away my next quarterback coming up, but
Hopefully Russ plays better this year. I think he can.
I think he will.
I think he will, but
I don't think all of it was coaching.
It was
but I think
definitely
a
not.
big part of it was.
there was butt naked, wide open receivers.
Yeah,
and
coaching,
he couldn't hit him.
Yeah, and he was also on a little bit of a power trip. Did you hear about? He had an office on the second floor, which the second floor is for the coach, and those kind of people. Players get the first floor. The important people get the second floor. And then Russell Wilson was up there. He had his own personal assistants that he brought with him and all kinds of stuff. And now Sean Payton with the Broncos is yeah, that's not going to fly.
Good for him.
I think he can definitely bounce back this season. Maybe when we get to our way too early predictions eventually, whenever we do that.
Yeah, whenever we do it, it's going to be way too early. But
it will be way too early. But maybe a Broncos undefeated season is coming up.
yeah.
Let's see. What was that? That was 28, right?
I think so.
You had Russell Wilson?
I did have Russell Wilson, yeah.
All right, so above that there, 27, I got Daniel Jones for you that you got last year. 27 for me, Davis Mills from last year. This year I got Russell Wilson at 27. What about you?
Marcus Mariota. So it's kind of like a little bit of back and
That's
forth.
fair enough, though. Like, to have Mariota above Wilson, I'd say he moved an offense better than Wilson did.
He was a quarterback, and Russell Wilson was kind of just a big name.
The Falcons scored more points per game than the Broncos did.
By a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that's sad because the Falcons did not have a good offense.
Yeah. But the only reason that Russ won any games is because of his defense.
Oh, yeah. And they were out here losing games 10-9.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Like, that defense was insane. And they could not capitalize. Even Tim Tebow capitalized on a defense as good as that one. He won a playoff game with that. Tim Tebow in 2011 was better than Russell Wilson was this year.
Sam drafted Tim Tebow.
He did in fantasy a couple years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Just to get cut after the first preseason game and then to also almost beat me in like week 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I won the championship, though.
Good for you.
Number 26, you had Jameis Winston. He did not play majority of the season. I had Trey Lance. Also did not play a majority of the season. So interesting 26s.
Yeah.
There.
I had
Both of them struggled with a lot of injuries.
This year I have Matty Ice at 26.
And I had Marcus Mariota.
All right.
So-
What we got for 27?
You mean 25?
That's
We're
what I
counting
was-
down, not counting up.
Oh.
Boom. You had Geno Smith, as you called him in that episode.
I did call him that.
He ain't riding back and such. I had Jared Goff. At 25.
Neither of them wrote back.
No, they both. I'm not going to say exactly where they are. They're both in my top 10 though.
Same.
This season.
I got Kenny Pickett this year.
At 25.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh.
Nice to see you didn't move him at all when you edited the list.
He was there, and I was
It's
like,
a good
that's-
ranking. What
That
can I
sounds
say?
right. I don't know.
Maybe that's a little bit too much betting on potential because this is supposed to be just a ranking of this past year. Pickett had his moments. He had the game-winning touchdown on Sunday night against the Ravens. I think he still threw more picks than touchdowns. And, he is in that, Marcus Mariota, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson territory right now. Of course, he's a rookie, and I think he's got definitely a brighter future in front of him.
I saw somebody doing, what is it? True completion rates, where it's like without throwaways or without something else.
Drops, probably.
Yeah, without drops, without throwaways.
Basically stuff that isn't like the quarterback's fault.
Yeah. And you wouldn't believe how take a guess of what his true completion rate was.
74%.
53%.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it was way higher.
No, dude, his 53%.
Like you said, I don't watch a lot of bad quarterbacks when I don't have to.
The only thing I saw from the Steelers this year was the pick or the catch by Pickett.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I saw from them.
You saw the one play in week 3 on Thursday night.
I didn't even watch it. I saw a clip of it. I
saw it on Instagram.
I didn't see any other clips from the
But yeah, they weren't great this season.
bad, dude.
Moving on to number 24, you had Tua. It's a little low, but
way low, I think.
that's okay. I had Trevor Lawrence, also ended up being a touch low, but I wasn't gonna be banking on him, especially after the rookie season that he had. Less so a Trevor thing, and more so just like it almost felt like this year was his rookie year, just because of how bad his rookie year was.
It was his do-over year, and we can talk about it more when we get to him. But so I had Taylor Heineke.
I also had Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I didn't touch that one.
You didn't. I think he's solidified himself as a backup, borderline starter, just because it feels like there's a lot of quarterback needs. Because here we are at 24. We're long past 32, and there's 32 teams. People need to be starting quarterback for these teams. That's why I think Carson Wentz is probably going to get a starting job because there's only 15 good quarterbacks in the NFL,
There's
and there's 32 teams.
4 coming out of college though for the draft.
There's 4, but again, like they're rookies, and how many of them? Because rookies don't always start either. So maybe Carson Wentz will come in, play half the season for the Panthers or whatever, and then they'll put Will Levis or whoever they draft, if they draft a quarterback out there.
They don't draft a quarterback, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I'd lost my place.
24.
24. I have Dak Prescott.
Actually, no. I think at 24 you had Heineke.
24. I had Heineke. Oh,
You have Dak at 23.
I have Dak at 23.
Wow.
Let me talk about it. Okay, what did I have this?
You had Justin Fields at 23, and I had Jimmy G.
That's pretty close, I think. I think
Feels really low for Dak, though. I know he wasn't great.
No,
I
no.
guess
Straight. Listen, he tied for most picks in 6 less games,
something like that. Yeah.
and he threw like an absolute monkey, and then he just sucks.
But that game against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, you could have good games, you can have bad games, but you can't be a bad quarterback who has good games.
I feel like he's more of a mid-level quarterback, which I guess we'll get to when we get there.
I don't know. I went from a Cowboys fan to a Cowboys hater.
You hate. Yeah, I was even listening to that last episode. Like, you were actually a Cowboys fan. Like, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. I was. Yeah, Cowboys suck.
Yeah. Hey, you got off the train when you needed to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I like the Niners. The Niners would be my secondary team right now if I had to. I spanked the Cowboys.
Let's see. And that was 23. 23, I got McCorkle Jones.
What?
Mac is short for McCorkle.
Oh,
It really is.
I forgot about that. Oh,
Mac Jones, he took it felt like it took a big step back.
and
Granted, there weren't great pieces around him, both players wise, coaching wise.
yeah.
He was in a little bit of a tough sitch.
I saw that, or I heard that. What's his name? The coach,
Belichick?
Belichick, like will refuse to draft a wide receiver in the first round or something.
Yeah, he's just not good at drafting wide receivers in general. I mean, he did in like 2019, and now he's like a 5th string receiver on the Bears. So like he's just not good at drafting wide receivers, because that guy was a 1st round pick, N'Keal Harry, and
Bummer.
yeah, he wasn't great.
All right, let's keep it moving.
I think also it definitely didn't help
not.
help him that his offensive coordinator was a former defensive coordinator. Almost anyone would be better than that. So anyway, moving on to number 22, where you had Jalen Hurts. I had Carson Wentz. Okay,
I don't want to talk about it.
interesting.
Hey, you said I was a true rookie. Give me some
I don't
slack.
blame you, because he was coming off an okay season, and I thought the Eagles would be better, but I didn't think Hurts would be an MVP candidate at all.
Yeah, you had the Eagles going like 4-13 or something.
I had the Eagles going 10-7 and going to the NFC Championship.
I had the Eagles going 4.
You had them going 6-11.
That's what
You were the
happened.
one who was low on the Eagles.
Yeah.
So I
They
guess
still
that
lost.
explains
They didn't win the Super
how
Bowl.
low you had.
And they're going to be
Hurts.
terrible next year because they lose their entire O-line.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be terrible, but I think I don't think they're going to be like the Rams or anything like that.
They sold their souls for a ring.
I
and it
don't think
didn't
they're
work.
going back to the Super Bowl, though, because they are going to be missing a lot of pieces. We'll cross that bridge when we get to that. We got
I had
plenty of time
Mac
in the offseason.
Jones.
At 22.
McCorkle. I have
So-
a touch higher than you just because of Dak Prescott.
Just a touch. I feel like Dak is definitely better
Shut
than
up.
Mac Jones, but okay.
Shut up. He had more picks than Mac Jones.
That is true. Mac Jones also played less games. Actually, I don't
No,
know if
he
he
didn't.
did.
No, he did not.
Because they both got hurt.
They
so
both got hurt, and
They
Dak
probably
said-
run the same amount, actually.
Dak was looking, and he's like, 16 picks? That's it? What? Dude, I mean, I can do that
Those are
in
rookie
10
numbers.
games. Yeah, and then he did. And then he did a Cowboys thing and lost
in the playoffs.
to the Niners again
True-
in the goofiest
true
way
Cowboys
possible.
Number,
Ezekiel Elliott, professional center.
dude, I think you should consider a career change, especially with, his career's kind of going downhill as a running back. So, just put on a little bit of weight and get out
Kick
there.
him out and get someone else in there, dude.
Yeah, they
Zeke's
gotta
not good.
either give him a massive pay cut or just cut him straight up.
I think a pay cut would be fine because he's fine.
I think
sometimes.
that's what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll talk about running backs maybe another episode. We'll rank those.
Yeah. Number 21, you had Carson Wentz,
Bit high.
who was there.
for sure, definitely.
He just
there.
got cut, so 21, I had Tua. I feel like that is a touch low-ish, but whatever.
I have Kyler Murray.
Number 21, I have Jimmy G.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, but
Solid game manager.
I think he
Always
did
hurt.
good for what he was given. I mean, I'm not because of what he was given. He was like about to get booted from the team, and
Then he comes back as their savior.
as their savior, and then he dies, and then they have a new
He
savior.
got his ankle stepped on, but yeah.
His soul left his body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, number 20, you had Jimmy Garappalo there.
Okay, yeah.
I had Mac Jones.
We were pretty.
He was coming off of a good rookie season, in
Yeah.
my defense.
I got Fields here.
Okay, yeah, I think that's solid. Let's see, where did I? Yeah, Justin Fields at 22. So, my 20 is Daniel Jones, because even though he had the best year of his career and whatnot, I still don't trust him that much. Like, he only threw 15 touchdowns. I think he's a game manager. I think he is right there with the Jimmy G. The reason I put him above Jimmy G is because he ran for 700 yards.
Yeah.
He's got that mobility that adds that extra factor, Vanilla Vic, as they call him.
He's a big boy
So-
too, so
Mm-hmm. But as a franchise quarterback, like don't pay him $45 million. He's not worth that.
please don't.
$30 million at the most, in my opinion. And if you won't take that, move on, New York. I don't know, start Tyrod Taylor or something.
I think they need to start Daniel Jones, but
Not if he's asking for that much, though.
guess.
That was 20, so inside of the top 20 now. You had Trey Lance at 19. This is just a copy and paste of what you sent me back then, so I'm just saying it how you wrote it.
okay.
It's Trey Lance. I had Baker Mayfield,
I had
At
Jimmy
19.
G this time.
and you had Jimmy G. So we had Jimmy G around the same for just all of it. Jimmy
Yeah.
G stays the same no matter what
Jimmy
happens.
G is perfectly consistent.
The earth can burn away, and Jimmy G will still be the 20th best quarterback in the league.
and the second most handsome.
I would say he's the most handsome.
Shut the frick up.
Who do you have at 19?
I had Jimmy G.
Oh, you just said that, didn't you?
I very much
I
did.
had Kyler Murray.
Hey.
Took a step down and also tore his ACL, which is not helpful at all.
Hey, don't clip me picking my nose, because, like, just blur it, man.
I should do that. Even though I'm talking, just like cut to you.
Just like, yeah, whenever you're talking for a clip, put it just on my face as I'm like, or like picking my nose.
Uh-huh.
I have allergies, and like it's really stuffy.
It makes him
so
pick his nose.
I got like that big old crusty voice. Maybe you can cut this out, but but like, don't judge me, okay?
A wise man once said, picking your nose doesn't make you a bad person.
It's what you do after.
It's what you do afterwards that defines you. And what do you do afterwards?
Throw them on your pillows.
Okay, I mean, that's very defining.
It is for you because you have booger face.
Number 18, you had Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
I had Jalen Hurts
I currently have Derek Carr.
at number 18.
I
Okay,
do.
solid.
He is a quarterback in the NFL.
I got Matthew Stafford at number 18 because he was
Oh,
not
shoot. I skipped one.
great.
I also have Matthew Stafford.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you have Stafford above Carr. I mean, maybe going into 2023, but in 2022, I mean, honestly, that feels a little high for Stafford. Honestly, he did not have a good year because he was hurt the entire season. I think he had 10 touchdowns to 8 picks, and even just giving it just watching the film, just not. He wasn't himself.
He's a good quarterback. He's just hurt.
Yeah, he had a bad year because he was hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if he bounces back. As
You
well.
see him you see those clips where he just gets brutalized on the Lions, and then
Oh,
he still
yeah.
goes back out there
Mhm.
with like 3 cracked ribs and like a
the
sprained
game
ankle.
against the Browns in like 2010 or whatever.
Yeah,
Where he hurries him up to the line to spike it, and then he quarterback sneaks it over the middle
yeah, man, what a
with
G.
broken ribs.
What a G.
Yeah.
All right, 18 now.
Moving
now,
on. Number
Derek Carr. Just
that was 18.
oh,
Number 17.
Ooh,
You had your boy Jared Goff, fantasy football hero for you, I guess. I had Jameis Winston, who did not live up to the hype that not really anyone was giving him, but I thought he'd be better.
I have Derek Carr here.
Derek
like
Carr
I said
17. Whoa.
already, but I mean he's a quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, he's going to get a lot of money from somebody this year.
Good for
He's
him.
a free agent now, so.
I like him.
Mhm.
He's not a good quarterback, really, but I like him.
He's a solid quarterback, and as a person, I like him too.
He's a cool dude. You see those interviews when he was at like the, what was it? The Pro Bowl, and that little black kid going around interviewing people.
Oh, yeah.
He prayed with him. That was cool.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's sweet.
Yeah, it was a little black kid. And he was a
I saw
Christian.
that guy interviewing other people.
He went to Derek Carr, and they prayed together. It was kind of cute
Nice.
and stuff. So
My number 17, I got Big Brock Purdy.
I got Ryan Tannehill. Are you just not saying?
No, this was where you had Derek Carr.
Wait, what? Oh,
Derek Carr's at 17. I have Brock Purdy at 17.
bro, you gotta.
No, I'm just
You're
continuing.
going so slow. Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Okay, we'll pick it up. Brock Purdy, he was good in the 5 games he played. He could be the future of the Niners or the future of somebody else, or he could have just been a fun story for a few games this season. We'll have to see. But when he played well.
Facts. Next one. Boom.
Okay, number 16, you had Carson Wentz above Jared Goff. Nice. I also had him above Jared Goff when I did fantasy. My mistake. Number 16, I had Deshaun Watson because I thought he'd be worse, but not that much worse. Who do you have for number 16?
I got Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill? Yep, that's solid. Number 16, I got Tua. See, this is like in between like number 10 and number 20, really. It's kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air. For
Like all these
that.
guys are like, they're pretty, I mean, they're mid-tier, obviously. And
I mean, they're great quarterbacks, just not in the NFL.
you know, they're top 15 quarterbacks in the world. But
Well, I don't. I feel like there's some college quarterbacks who could just come out and rip like over.
there's a
them.
few, but I mean, there's not many.
In the XFL, I feel like there's.
If you put it, there's a reason they're in the XFL.
Oh, my fault. Zach Wilson next year.
All right, we're into the top half now. That was number 16. Number 15, you had Kirk Cousins. That's fair. He did have a really good season. I mean, I guess he always has a really good season. He always puts up really good numbers. He always throws like 30 touchdowns and 10 picks, which is about what he did this year. Number 15, I had Ryan Tannehill. What did you have this year?
I had Daniel Jones. I think he's better than you're giving him credit for. Also, frick you. So,
Hey, fair enough.
yeah, this year you got a little bit of a down year, Kirk Cousins. He did 29 touchdowns instead of his regular 30.
Ooh.
And then he had 14 picks instead
Ooh.
of the 10 that you were talking about.
Be interested to see how high you have Kirk Cousins this year.
I have him a bit higher than the way he is right now.
And then my 15 this year is Derek Carr.
Okay. Yeah.
Going back to the
like you said,
way back
interchangeable.
machine.
Interchangeable.
Number 14, you had Mac Jones. You wanted to put him lower, but you're like, no, I know he's better than that, and then you put him at 14.
I knew he was better than that the year he played,
Yeah.
and then this year he wasn't. So that's yep.
Then I have Kirk Cousins because, he is kind of like the definition of a mid-tier quarterback in my opinion.
Dude, I'm not gonna have an excuse next year when I get all these wrong.
Right?
Dang it.
Then
man.
you just have to be that you're stupid.
Yeah.
You have to start saying what I say.
This year I have Brock Purdy.
Number 14. Okay. That's solid.
He killed it in the games he played, man. And
It is kind of difficult to rank him.
It is because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's just in that." Anyone can play in that Niners offense. No, not everyone can play because they put whatever the frick that guy's
Josh
name was.
Johnson?
Yeah, they put that fool in, and he sucked. And then he got hurt. He played for a whole quarter.
Then they didn't have a quarterback.
And then they should have put CMC behind.
I think it would have given
snap.
them a better chance, genuinely.
He was getting the ball a lot anyway.
And he can throw it farther. I
don't know why they did that one throw though. He threw it like 35 yards down the field to absolutely nobody at all.
Mm-hmm.
But just throwing to a blaze of grass. He hit him though.
Let's see. Which one was that? Was that number?
That was 14, I believe.
It was 14. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Who's my 14 here? Ryan Tannehill. So, yeah. Again, these guys are all kind of mixed together. Number 13, you had Matt Ryan. I had also Matt Ryan because we thought he wouldn't be awful. And then my number 13 here, I'm calling it audible, and I'm putting Dak Prescott there.
Boo.
It wasn't originally on my list. He was actually a touch higher, but I am putting him at number 13.
Wait, you're straight up putting him down like right now?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at my list. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Okay. I have Tagovailoa.
At 13?
Tagovailoa. Yeah.
I thought you'd have him lower than that.
I think it was a bit scary in the playing against him as a Bills fan. It was a bit scary playing,
especially
against
that
the Dolphins.
snowy game late in the season.
Yeah,
was that on Christmas Eve or something? I don't remember. It was in December though. Maybe it was right after Christmas. I don't know.
I was at the gym and I had paused my set and I was just sitting on the machine like for 20 minutes just watching the game on the big TV, and like no one could use the machine because I was sitting there. And we won by that much, and it was
that was one of the best games of the year.
That was a really good game.
And then the snow started coming down. And
yeah, buddy, dude. And then they all did snow angels and stuff after they got the kick. It was sick. But if Tua played really well before he got concussed. And then it was kind of just like when he got concussed, he was at his peak for being terrible. And he was slowly coming off that high, and then he got hit again.
Yeah, and then he got concussed again on Christmas.
He needed to not play. He really needed to not play.
Oh, yeah. Especially that game against Cincinnati, like 4 games after the first the back injury that he had.
He played really well before that. And for a dude who got concussed and back injury, and it happened like 3 or 4 times where he got hit pretty brutally, and then even smaller hits, getting sacked or just getting hit late or whatever it was, it adds up, especially if you have a concussion. And he played really well for somebody who has a concussion. I think
I want Tua to be good, but I'm starting to lose faith in him. So.
Why? Because he only played really that bad when he had a concussion.
I guess so, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Tua.
He threw 6 touchdowns in a game.
He did do that, and it was an epic comeback.
Yeah,
Ravens choked a lot this year.
They did.
I feel like everyone forgot about that. Your number 12 was Russell Wilson. My number 12 was Derek Carr.
And speaking of Lamar Jackson, pay him. He's number 12 for me.
Number 12 for you. My number 12 is Tom Brady.
Okay. Tom Brady had 4,500 yards.
Yeah, he had a lot of yards.
4,700 yards. Yeah.
He was solid, but again, like the eye test, I think, comes into this. He just didn't look very good.
25 touchdowns, 9 picks. He had a rating of 90.
Like his numbers are okay. I think, his numbers are like the 12th best quarterback in the league kind of stuff. So,
yeah,
he did what he did.
He did what he did, and he did it after he got divorced. So.
And who did you say your 12 was?
I had Lamar Jackson. He didn't play a lot, and when he did play,
that's fair.
He choked a lot. So.
Yeah, especially the last few games that he played in for the Ravens, their offense just wasn't quite looking the same. Obviously, that's not all on him, but as the quarterback and the leader of the offense, a lot of that does fall on him.
But then when he left, dude, I just love the pictures of him on the sidelines with his glasses on, smiling,
just chilling as they get blown out,
as they get destroyed.
Like, yeah, you should pay me. They better pay him. I mean, if they don't, like, what are you doing? I know he's been hurt, but you've seen what life is like without Lamar, and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Pay the man.
Pay the man.
Number 11, so just outside of your top 10, you had Ryan Tannehill.
Not the best.
I had Kyler Murray.
I got Aaron.
You got Aaron Rodgers just outside of the top 10. That's fair.
He played like a old man.
I think, that's fair to have him paired alongside with Brady because I think they had pretty similar seasons.
Why are you looking at my...
I'm not.
Stop looking at it.
My eyes were there, but I'm bad at looking.
Shut the frick up. What did you get?
What?
Who's you in 11?
My 11, I got Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Because, I'm taking the whole season into account. He had a great second half of the season for the most part. First half of the season, he definitely started a little bit slow for the most part also. I'm not looking at your list.
Okay. Just don't.
And also, your list wouldn't influence what I'd say.
I just don't want you looking at it.
You looked at my list as you made your own list.
Yeah, but you showed it to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of showing me your list right now.
Stop.
So,
I'm shy.
that's my number 11 quarterback. So cracking the top 10 now. You had Dak Press. I also had Dak Press. Who do you have this year at number 10?
I got Thomas. Thomas the Braid Engine.
Oh, okay.
Again.
That's right. I'm the one who ranked him at 12.
You're like, wait, I thought you just No, he had 700 yards. He's still Tom Brady. But you
Not
can just...
anymore. He's retired.
Okay, he's still Tom Brady. He was still Tom Brady this year. It was just his age was showing.
Yeah.
And
It finally caught up to him at 45.
and his family matters were showing too.
Yeah. Although, I mean, that's still insane. He threw for like 42 touchdowns at age 44. So I think we had reason to not doubt him.
He had 25 touchdowns this year and 9 picks.
Yeah. I mean, he threw for over 100 touchdowns with the Bucs in 3 years, which is kind of insane.
Big boy stats.
My number 10 this year, let's see, where are you? I had Kirk Cousins. Part of it's probably because of the team ranking, them getting 13 games and getting a little bit lucky and him orchestrating a lot of those comebacks, literally orchestrating the biggest comeback in NFL history on Christmas Eve.
It was against Matt Ryan, though. So
Yeah, well, it's always against Matt Ryan.
yeah, I'm sorry, Matt Ryan, man. He sucks.
Poor Matt Ryan. He should have a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he should.
Uh,
Freaking loser.
But yeah, Kirk Cousins, again, like, you could also rank him at like number 16, and I'd be okay with that. I have him at the upper echelon of the mid-tier quarterbacks.
Yeah. Number 9.
Number 9, you had Lamar. No, you didn't. You had Kyler Murray. I skipped it because you wrote Kohler Murray.
I'm like Stick.
Yes. I had Russell Wilson at number 9 because I thought he would still be a good quarterback.
Neither of those are good picks, but mine was substantially less terrible.
You was dyslexic in your words also.
Factual.
Who's your number 9 this year?
I got Perk Thuggins.
Okay, yeah. I got Jared Goff there.
Okay.
Because I feel like, again, Goff is like one of those mid-level quarterbacks, but he put up some good numbers and he looked better this season. He had some more help around him. Second year in that offensive system. So he looked better and he looked serviceable. It does kind of feel weird to put him in the top 10, but like at the same time, I mean, somebody's got to be there.
Yeah, they had Cousins had about 100 yards more than him, and they had the exact same amount of touchdowns, and Cousins had twice the interceptions.
Yeah, that was the big thing for me, 7 interceptions to 14.
Passer rating for Goff was 99, and then for Kirk it was 92.
And that's the most important stat right there.
Yeah, passer rating is very important.
It's the only way you can judge a quarterback.
Correct.
Number 8.
Number 8.
You, back in August, had Lamar
I
Jackson.
think it was fair back then.
I also had Lamar Jackson.
I hate that pick for you, but okay. This year I had Jared Goff. I just
Right above Cousins.
right above Cousins, just like you. I just moved somebody down. I don't know, but it's a little bit different than yours.
Yeah. Touch off.
Yeah,
And that's because who I have at number 8.
Goff
and
is
I'm
that mofo.
And I'm a biased mofo. I got Aaron Rodgers at number 8.
That's why it's off.
That's why it's off. He was definitely up and down, and I could also, I agree with you, put him at like 11 or wherever you had him at, number 10, something like that. So, like, I'm okay with that, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm still going to put him there. And, the eye test, he still had, some incredible throws that he made, and he didn't have the best wide receiver group now, especially without Devontae being there. And it was just a down year as a whole for the Packers.
Yeah, it sucks. This is the worst touchdown interception ratio he's ever had, I think.
Yeah, it was like, 25
26
touchdowns?
to 12.
Yeah, the interceptions were a little bit high.
Crazy.
Normally he throws about a quarter of those.
Yeah, 3,700 yards. And
Yeah, didn't even hit 4,000.
Passer rating in 91.
I don't think he had a single 300-yard game this season. Which, I mean, honestly, when the less yards he threw for, typically they were better. Like when we went to that Cowboys game and the Packers put up 31 points, I think he had like 180 yards. He also had 3 touchdowns.
They ran it down their throat, dude.
Exactly, and that's when the Packers were better. But no, they insist on throwing the ball and playing hero ball and all that.
They're not good.
But yeah, number 7, you had Justin Herbert. I had Joe Burrow. This was a little bit of a point of contempt on the original episode. You were right though to have Burrow above Herbert, 100%.
Thank you. Right now I have Geno Smith.
I also have not him there.
Oh,
I have Lamar Jackson at number 7.
Still?
I do. I still really like Lamar and what he brings to the table.
I didn't say I didn't. I just think that these quarterbacks played better this year.
Yeah, that's fair to have Goff and Cousins above Lamar.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like play this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm also thinking of like just talent in general. I think Lamar's a better passer. Obviously, he's a better runner.
Then Geno, Goff, Cousins, and Aaron Rodgers and Lamar and
yeah,
not Lamar.
Lamar is the guy we're talking about.
Yeah. All right, that's fair, I guess.
Number 7. No, number 6. We just did number 7. Number 6, you had Joe Burrow and I had Justin Herbert. So yeah, flip those around, I guess, if we're trying to be a touch more accurate back in the day. Who do you got at number 6 this year?
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. So he doesn't even move at all. You agree with yourself?
I suppose.
Nice. I got Geno Smith at number 6. What a jump for me. Number 33 to number 6. He threw for 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, let's take a look at his stats.
Like, especially like I'm thinking of those passes he had in the Saints game. He probably had 2 of the best passes in the entire season in that game, and they lost.
And close to 4,300 yards.
Yeah, he was crazy this year. And the people are saying the Seahawks should draft a quarterback. What are you talking about? Unless you're talking about the future.
He's not that old
like
either.
30-something, and like maybe if you're like, oh, well, maybe he's going to be like Russell Wilson and kind of fall off a cliff in his early 30s. But like, man, like he was so good. And it was more than just like he was good for 4 games. He was good like most of the season. I mean, he had a bad game every now and again, but who doesn't?
Patrick Mahomes, that's who does. Even with a bum ankle. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. But, I mean, Geno, he was genuinely really good all year. And who would have thought he would have been, depending on who talk to a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely top 10.
For sure. Your number 5 last year was Matthew Stafford. Mine was also Matthew Stafford. I mean, he threw 41 touchdowns and won the Super Bowl. So, can you blame us? Who do you have at number 5?
Can. I have Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, you're really high on him.
Saucy pick, yeah. You jumped way with Geno Smith. I jumped higher with Trevor Lawrence.
You did. Wow. Is this like an arc for your story? You and Trevor?
I still don't like him. I'm still mad at him for sucking his first year because that ruined my fantasy team. It didn't, but
no,
I would have lost
team
anyway.
Was bad.
My team was awful, but I'm gonna still blame Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was really good the second half of the season, like you were saying earlier. He had one of the worst first halves ever in
that playoff
game. I think that is the worst half ever, right? Because
not the worst half, but like one. It's not
4
good.
picks in the first half. There's been worse.
Nathan Peterman did 5.
Dang, what a G. But
Buffalo Bills legend.
So Trevor Lawrence.
I should get you a Nathan Peterman jersey.
Yeah, do it. I'll wear it. I'll wear it on the show. I'll wear it every day of my life until it's stinky.
You're not gonna wash it.
No, I'm not. I have faith in Nate Pearson. But Trevor Lawrence, he showed that he is that guy sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think
Shooty is that guy in that second half of that game.
Definitely was the guy. He was like, I'm going to dig us a hole and then jump right back out of it.
Mm-hmm. Because he's got those hops.
For sure. He's definitely a guy.
Definitely a guy. My number 5, I got Justin Herbert. I still really like Justin Herbert and what he can do and whatnot. Free Justin Herbert. And by that, I mean, like, I don't know, give him a good coach or something.
Yeah. Who do we have it for?
Number 4 was you had Tom Brady. I had Josh Allen. It's fair. Who you have it for this year?
Jalen Hurts, and I think you have also.
I also have Jalen Hurts right there.
I think our top 4 are the same.
Yeah, I think most people's top 4 are the same. I think maybe a few people try to sneak a Lawrence in there or Herbert into the top 4, and I guess you can. I feel like everyone's top 3 like has to be the same with 2 or 3 being flipped. We'll get there.
No,
But,
because the slander is enormous, and people will say
Josh Allen's the 7th best quarterback in the league.
Josh Allen. People put Josh Allen outside the top 10. I've seen it.
I think actually that means you're putting like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins above him. Injury prone Lamar.
I don't know, man.
Aaron Rodgers coming off a bad season.
Dude,
retired Tom Brady.
Slander. It's slander. It is because obviously it's Mahomes because everyone's riding Mahomes' back and Joe Burrow because he's so classy and so cute. And Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is the Protestant son or whatever, the golden child.
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor Lawrence because, oh my gosh, Trevor Lawrence had a terrible year. And I basically just said that. But and then they're like, Allen threw 14 picks and he only ran for 700 yards and he only had 35 touchdowns and only threw for 4,200 yards and he's a terrible quarterback and he turns the ball over all the time and that's how they all sound.
Mm-hmm.
And they put Tua over him and they'll put Geno over him and they'll put Goff over him and it's ridiculous. People are ridiculous. And then they'll put their top 3 as Mahomes, Burrow, and Hurts.
Yeah.
And it's
or Lawrence.
Crazy. Or Lawrence.
I do feel like not enough people are ranking Hurts high enough though.
I think Hurts is definitely 4.
I think he's like solidly at number 4. We're just talking about this past year. I think he might regress a little bit going into this next year. I don't know. But
I think he'll stay top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
He's a really good runner. He knows where to put the ball most of the time.
But similar like someone like a Brock Purdy even where people love to just take away from him because he's on a good team. They punish him because he's on a good team.
Yeah, which I think sometimes the criticism is fair because it's like, oh, you have AJ Brown or Greens, who the guy.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, that's right the first fellow. Time. And AJ Green's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good receiver too. But you have one of the best receivers in the league, top 5 for sure, and then you have another top 15 receiver maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good too, the Slim Reaper.
And just a great team all around.
And a bunch of good running people, a really good O-line, good defense. It's easier to play better with good people around you. But that doesn't mean he's only playing good because good people are around him.
Yep. Yeah, I think Hurts has solidified himself as a top quarterback. At least this year. Maybe he falls off. I don't know.
I think the reason you put Burrow above him, I think just solidly would put Burrow above him, is because Burrow
is better.
Burrow is better, but you can also say that Burrow has a much worse team. Like his defense isn't as good. His O-line's always been terrible, but he knows how to work under pressure. He doesn't flinch under pressure at all. He's a psychopath. But yeah, I mean, so no one can really say that about Burrow, and that's why everyone's all about Burrow.
Yeah.
So I guess we're talking about the top 4 then, but
we are. You had Josh Allen at number 3.
I still have Josh Allen at 3.
I had Patrick Mahomes at 3.
Interesting.
And then I have Josh Allen at 3 for my list this year. So
yeah, Josh Allen is 3.
Mm-hmm.
He can't throw as well as Burrow or Mahomes.
The big thing with him is just the inconsistency.
If he was consistent, I think it would have been way closer. I think he would have got a couple more votes for MVP.
Yeah, just take away a few of those picks, a few of those bad throws. And
even with the picks, though, because Mahomes had, 12 picks?
I think they had close to the same amount of picks.
Mahomes had 12 picks, and Allen had 14. Allen threw for 35 touchdowns, and Mahomes threw for 41.
But Mahomes also didn't fold at home in a playoff game.
He
and
didn't
lose by
do that.
17.
And he had 1,000 more yards.
Yeah.
But Allen had 700 and some yards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that would get him out of, third and 1, 3rd and 10, whatever. It would get them a first down so they could keep playing the game and get a touchdown.
He's got great mobility.
And they didn't have the best running game until later in the season, so it was all on him. He was the leading rusher for the whole year.
Even later in the season, they didn't have a good ground game.
It got better. I think Cook is coming into his own, and Singletary's getting a little bit better. But it was kind of a mess to start the season off.
Yeah, I think the Bills do need to get a new running back. Though, whether it's they sign like a Saquon Barkley or a Miles Sanders,
I'd love that.
they trade for Derrick Henry or something. I
Oh
don't
my
know,
goodness,
but
dude. Oh my goodness. If they
Man.
had Derrick Henry in the backfield, Derrick Henry next to Josh Allen, dude, that'd be such a scary combo.
Someone's trucking you.
Somebody's running you over or jumping you or stiff arming you. That'd be sick. I'd also like to get Odell, but I know we won't. So
No. Number 2, you had Patty McPat. I had Aaron Rodgers. Who
I
do you
got
have?
Burrow this time.
I also
know
got
you
Burrow
do.
too. We already talked about how good and sexy he is.
I think it was, at least back then, and I made the same case, is that a 2-time MVP in a row, I think should be at top. And
Oh yeah.
I had, okay, so just spoiler, but I had Aaron Rodgers at top. We didn't say it, but I had Aaron Rodgers last year for my number 1 quarterback. And I didn't see him falling off a cliff with
I didn't
with
think
his main receiver gone.
I knew it would affect the Packers. I didn't think it would affect them that much.
I didn't think he was going to get another MVP. I was thinking
No.
that would be cool, but I didn't think so. I just thought he'd play really well
Mm-hmm.
because he has been, and then he didn't. And I'm
Nope.
kind of upset about that, but definitely not as much as you.
No. Okay, and that's
Who do you have for number 1?
Oh, number 1 last year. I had Aaron. No, you had Aaron
I had
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I had Tom Brady, and then I think we both have Patrick Mahomes for this year.
Yeah. I think
MVP.
MVP, and you won the Super Bowl, and you got the Super Bowl MVP, right? You got the
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely should have gone to Hurts if the
So
Eagles
now
won.
Mahomes has 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, and 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
He's getting his
so-
way into that GOAT conversation
Uh-huh.
a couple years from now,
He's definitely in that top 10 conversation now
which is so weird and it feels wrong.
because he's 27. But I mean, there's only I think 2 or 3 other players that even have the two or more MVPs, 2 or more Super Bowls, 2 or more Super Bowl MVPs, and I think it's Brady and Montana.
Does what's his name? Big forehead. I can't remember.
Oh, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowls, right?
He does have 2 Super Bowls. He has 5 MVPs.
He has 5 MVPs.
Yep.
My goodness, dude.
I don't know. No, because he didn't win Super. I know he didn't win Super MVP the second time. I don't know about the first time, but I know he didn't the second time.
Man,
Although I don't think Mahomes deserved his first Super Bowl MVP. But
who deserved it?
I think their running back did. I think it was Damian Williams was his name because Mahomes threw 2 just terrible interceptions in that game. But he also led the comeback and they scored 21 points in the last 7 minutes of the game. So. But Williams also had the nail in the coffin. Anyway, that game, it was 4 years ago, so who cares?
Yeah, and then 3 years ago they had a loss in the Super Bowl. So, so he's been to 3 Super Bowls
In 4 years.
in 4 years, 5 years of playing. What the heck?
Undisputedly, like the number 1. If someone else ranks any quarterback at number 1, they're just attention-seeking horse.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Watching, listening, do all the things. Like, subscribe, comment, leave a review, iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating or however many stars you think we deserve. On
We'll read
Spotify.
any rating that you give us on
Literally anything.
Apple Music or comments or whatever.
Not literally anything, but like we'll definitely see it and maybe we'll read it on the podcast.
We will say verbatim whatever you write.
Please.
Beneo will. Okay,
Yes. I will get canceled. Okay, see ya.